What's up, everybody? It is your boy Baddog here with another New York Giants video, and I know that the Giants content has been far and few between. It's May, so it really isn't much to talk about at this time. Obviously, there's OTAs going on, but really not a lot to talk about. No big stories with the Giants, and, there won't be a lot of stories coming out until we get to training camp, a lot of camp battles, and we get into preseason and all that stuff. I know everybody's anxious for football. I'm always anxious for football. I always am. But I do love the summer, so I'm not going to force the summer by really quickly, but it will go by quick. The summer always does here in the Northeast. Again, I'm not expecting much from the Giants this year, but I am anxious to see exactly what our first two picks do. Kayvon Thibodeau, Evan Neal. Obviously very excited to see how they perform. Excited to see how Daboll and Kafka, Wink Martindale, how they have this team run. And I don't know if it's excited. I'm anxious to see what we do. I'm anxious to see how different the team looks. And I guess that's really what I'm anxious about. I don't expect this to be a great team. I'm hoping that they can surprise us. But at the end of the day, there's still a lot of holes here. And we'll see if they can fill them or if these guys can overperform or whatever. I mean, that's why we play the games, as Chris Berman used to say. But I do want to talk about Daniel Jones. I always want to talk about Daniel Jones, don't I? As I smack the hell out of my microphone with my hat. I always want to talk about Daniel Jones. But I do want to talk about Brian Daboll saying that he wants Daniel Jones to let it loose. Just wants him to play. Doesn't want him to be careless with the ball, but just wants him to go. And, don't hold back anything and just play the game. And so do I. Daniel Jones has nothing to lose. And I feel like, again, I'm not going to sit here and go like, oh, Daniel Jones is going to be a great quarterback, because I still have my reservations on Daniel Jones. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, well, Daboll's there and Kafka's there, and they work for Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes, and now Daniel Jones is going to be those guys. No, Daniel Jones does not have the talent of either one of them. So Daniel Jones will never be Josh Allen or Pat Mahomes. I said this in an Eagle video. All Daniel Jones can be is the best version of Daniel Jones. And I don't think that we've seen that. And that's why it's been frustrating. We saw glimpses of it his rookie season. And the last 2 years we really haven't. Maybe outside of the Saints game where he threw for over 400 yards and led us to an overtime victory. It's there. His talent is there. It's just between the ears that kind of worries me. And part of me believes that Joe Judge got in there on him. And Daniel Jones, the last 2 years, thought way too much, played way too reserved, was scared, was too cautious. And I don't like that. And I also don't like the fact that when you play like that, you do have a tendency to get hurt. Now, I hope Daniel Jones isn't hurt. He has not got through a full season without getting injured as of yet. Hopefully this is the year. I want Daniel Jones to let it rip. Let it go. Who cares? I go back to this all the time. In 1986, yeah, I'm old. I remember 1986, okay? Phil Simms is terrible for a lot of that year, and you watch the America's game, and right before the Vikings game, Coach Parcells says to Simms, Phil, I don't care if you throw 4 interceptions tonight. Take some chances. Well, Daniel Jones, I don't want you throwing 4 interceptions. But take some chances. When Bill Parcells said that to Phil Simms, all of a sudden, the offense started to get better, and the Giants went on a roll, and they won the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. We're not winning a Super Bowl. But Daniel Jones can be better than he's been the last 2 years. And I think if Daniel Jones just goes in with the mindset to not be afraid to make a mistake, he won't make as many. He's going to make mistakes. He's going to fumble. He's going to throw interceptions. Every quarterback does that. But he can't be worried about it. Because when you're worried about it, you're going to have the propensity to do it. When you're thinking too much, you hesitate. And when you hesitate in the NFL, especially as a quarterback, you're done. In the blink of an eye, that window closes. In the blink of an eye, there's a defensive lineman all over your back. Quick, confident decisions. I've always said with Daniel Jones, to me, it's here. I feel like he's got enough talent to be good in the NFL. Is he an elite talent? Absolutely not. But we've seen he's accurate down the field. He throws a nice deep ball. When he's confident, he can make some good throws. And I feel like if he plays without fear, and I feel like if Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka can instill in him, hey, just go out there and play. Don't think. Kind of like the way he did his first game against Tampa. The first game he ever played in the NFL, he just played football. He threw 2 interceptions in that game. He turned it over twice. He might have fumbled too. I don't remember the fumbles. I just know he turned it over twice. But I know he threw 2 touchdowns, and I know he ran for 2 touchdowns, and I know he brought us back to win the game. If we could get that version of Daniel Jones, the first one that we saw in Tampa, where, yeah, maybe he makes a couple of mistakes, but at the same time, he's ultra-really aggressive, and we're scoring points, I can live with it. I don't want to be Jameis Winston, where, he's throwing or turning the ball over 40 times. But my God, if Daniel Jones can stay healthy, and he has a year where he throws 30 touchdowns and 17 interceptions or 18 interceptions, or, 19, whatever, 32 and 19, 31 and 17. If he has those type of numbers, I can live with it. Because this offense the last 2 years has been, it's been vomitous. It's made me want to vomit. I think I did vomit a few times in my mouth watching the Giants offense. It was disgusting. As I showed you guys before, the playbook was the freaking paper towel roll. Because that's really what they played like. They played like paper towel, or toilet paper. I'm sorry. They played like toilet paper. They get flushed down the toilet. It was garbage. It was horrible. I like that approach by Brian Daboll. Is it going to result in wins? Who knows? Is it going to result in Daniel Jones improving and proving that he could play at an NFL level? Who knows? Will it backfire? Who knows? It is possible he says, go ahead and do your thing, and Daniel Jones throws 12 touchdowns and 18 interceptions. That is also possible. My point is this. This is Daniel Jones' last year with the New York Giants unless he gives them a reason to sign. It could be Daniel Jones' last opportunity in the NFL to prove that he's a starting quarterback before he goes somewhere else and backs somebody else up. So my point is this. Daniel Jones at this point in his career has nothing to lose and everything to gain. He is definitely not an elite quarterback. He might not even be a very good quarterback. What I see from Daniel Jones is a guy that has the ability to be at least average as long as he plays his game. But I do know this. There is no way that he's as bad as he was the last 2 years. I know that. In my heart, I know that. In my head, I know that. Of course, some people will tell you I don't know anything about football. And like I said, I got 1,200 videos that prove I don't know anything about football. But it's just my opinion. And I do believe that if Daniel Jones just goes out there and plays football and stops thinking and stop worries about making mistakes, he'll make less of those mistakes and he'll make more plays. I like the approach by Brian Daboll. We'll see how it works out in the regular season. I just want Daniel Jones to be the best version of Daniel Jones. I don't want him to be Josh Allen. I don't want him to be Pat Mahomes. I don't want him to be Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I would love him to be those guys, but he's not. I want him to be the best version of Daniel Jones. And I think that the best version of Daniel Jones can be a very serviceable quarterback for the New York Giants. And if he has a good year, then we'll see what happens going forward, right? But this is his last year. Nothing to lose. There's no fifth-year option. There's no cushion. There's nowhere to go. Well, if I fail this year, at least I got the fifth-year option to fall back on. This is it for him. This is it. So hopefully he plays, comes out with aggressiveness and desperation and plays like, hey, I got to get this done, man. Or it could be the end of my career as a starter in the NFL. Let's hope that Daboll instills that confidence in him. Let's hope Daniel Jones takes that confidence and becomes, like I said, the best version of Daniel Jones that he can be. And let's hope that that wins some games for the Giants and turns the team around. That's what we hope for. I like Brian Daboll's approach, and let's see how it works out. Anyway, that's all I got in this video. As always, if you made it this far, you're a trooper. Thank you for watching. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about the comments by Brian Daboll. Do you think that Daniel Jones should be ultra-aggressive? Do you think no matter what, he's going to be bad? Do you think that this kind of approach can make him better? Always willing to hear your opinion. You know, I read all the comments, obviously, and we'll do it again soon. Until then, it's Bad Day Dizzle. I'm out. Peace.